Consumed. Perfect host, not more monster than man.
We see the Thing walking in Reed Richards' laboratory until he turns his head and notices something moving in a glass chamber.
Is that thing alive?
And that's when he sees a symbiote that Reed managed to trap. Reed walks in and explains that he has been studying the symbiote, telling Ben how fascinating it is. But Ben interrupts him, reminding him that he forgot their spaceflight accident anniversary. Reed assures him that he didn't forget. He just wanted to give Ben more time, since he had only recently returned from space. However, struggling with his insecurities and anger over looking like a monster, Ben tells Reed that maybe he belongs in a glass jar too. But Mr. Fantastic simply reassures him, saying that he will do everything he can to find a cure and turn Ben back into a human.
Reed, darling, the reporter is here.
Sorry about that, Sue. I'm on my way.
Reed leaves the laboratory, telling Ben that they should meet for dinner afterward.
Can you believe that guy? He'll never understand. The strange looks and the gasps. People whispering about you like you can't hear. Calling your names and hiding their kids. Hey, what are you trying to...
The Clintar symbiote starts hitting the glass, realizing that Ben is a perfect host, strong on the outside, but weak inside. It begins to offer its help, explaining that if Ben helps it, the symbiote will do the same. And without much thought, Ben lets him go.
Perfect host. A host more suited to the symbiote's proclivities than the web slinger.
Ben, what did you do?
And that's when we see the symbiote augmented thing. Reed calmly reaches for a gun, explaining to Ben how the symbiote changed Spider-Man. But Ben responds that he knows. He knows the symbiote wants to help him. And that's when we see Ben back in his human form. But despite this, Reed raises his gun and tells Ben that he's sorry.
Ben, we will find another way, I promise!
I did find a way, and now you want to stop me because your own ego can't stand that you're not the one who figured it out.
The Thing attacks, grabs the sonic gun, and destroys it. He then looks at Reed and asks for one favor, Ben, to stay the hell out of his way. After this, we transition to the sewers, where we see Dr. Curtis Connors, a man who once tried to create a serum to help others regenerate lost limbs. But in the process of using reptilian DNA, he inadvertently altered his own, transforming himself into the lizard. He flicks out his tongue, sensing that the symbiote has escaped. Realizing this, he quickly moves to find it. Back in the Baxter building, Reed explains to Susan Storm that it should be possible to remove the symbiote from Ben, but both of them realize that by doing so, they might take away Ben's last chance of looking human. Regardless of this, Reed understands that he will have to do it because the Thing is now a threat to others. Ben walks through the city, telling himself how good he finally feels, until the symbiote senses something, and Ben realizes that something is wrong. So he decides to investigate. He sees the lizard, who tells him that he feels bad about how the Fantastic Four have treated him. But without waiting, he punches him. The lizard tries to explain that he's not here to fight. He tells Ben that he knows how the Thing feels, since he's a monster just like him. He also explains how the Fantastic Four have lied to him, claiming how he's one of them only because they're afraid of him.
I ain't like you.
The Thing lets him go, telling him that he's not like him. But the lizard continues sharing his story about how he was once a doctor and wanted to create a medicine that would help others regenerate limbs. He also tells Ben that with the symbiote's help, he can finally help thousands of others, and urges him, if he truly wants to help, he must come with him, because that's what a real hero would do.
You sure about this, Doc?
The lizard tells him that listening to Reed will only cause problems, and urges Ben to relax. He then presses a button
Doc, turn it off!
and traps the symbiote for himself. While Ben keeps hitting the glass, realizing that the doctor just lied to him, Ben tries to escape, all while listening to the lizard, who clearly explains that he's about to do something horrible. Back in the Baxter building, Reed continues repairing the sonic gun, while Sue tells him that he doesn't have to do this alone. Until someone breaks in. And it's the lizard. He slams the ground, making Reed and Sue fall to the floor. He then slaps Reed and continues beating him until Sue comes to help. Meanwhile, as angry as ever, Ben keeps hitting the glass, trying to escape. With Sue knocked out, the lizard begins choking Reed, telling him that he doesn't look so smart now. Reed tries to do the same, but the lizard easily bites off his arm.
Dr. Connors, face me instead!
The lizard then looks at him and simply tells him that he's too late.
No!
bites off Reed's head.
No, no, no! Reed!
Ben begins to cry, telling himself that it's all his fault, while the lizard tells him that they are better without him.
There ain't no we. There ain't no Fantastic Four. It's just me!
Ben keeps punching him over and over again.
The broken don't fear monsters. They become consumed by them. Broken, consumed. Perfect host, not more monster than man.